And we're back here on the hash with Hatfield. We have a special guest with us. He is the head football coach of the Raiders of Rappahannock, who got themselves a very impressive victory last Friday night, 13-8 over the Essex Trojans. They had lost 26 in a row as a program to Essex, who we had ranked number 1 in the state in Class 1 on VirginiaPreps.com. They get it done. First 6-0 start for the Raiders since 1992. We say hello to Coach William West. Coach, thanks for joining us. Had to be thrilling for you and your kids to get that victory over Essex, the old proverbial monkey off the back, if you will, and you're riding high right now. How's the season been going for you?
Absolutely. The season's going well. Extremely blessed and fortunate to have a W after 26 games without beating them. So it was great for the program. Great program victory.
For sure. Let's go through your background because you have been at Rappahannock since 2001. Is that correct?
That's correct. I've been the head coach since 2001. Been here for the last 30 years, I think it is.
Okay. Tell me about what drew you to Rappahannock, what's kept you there, and just the community and the support, because you guys are having a history-making season, if you will.
Absolutely. I'm a graduate of Rappahannock High School, of course, so the love is there. I bleed the red and gray. And I try to instill that same spirit into my young men that play football for me. So Friday night's victory and this 6-0 start has been very, very rewarding. And, we're happy about where we're at right now. Excited for the kids and excited for the program going forward.
Certainly, you've got to be thrilled to have the support of the fans and those that are alums like yourself of Rappahannock High School. I mean, Essex has got a big name in the state for what it's done, and Coach Todd Jones has got an excellent program. They're in the state playoffs, it seems like, year in and year out. But we've been keeping an eye on you guys from afar. I know beginning of the year you had some good pieces, and I want you to talk about some of those key guys for you, especially your quarterback and C.J. Kelly and your running back and Kenneth Madison. Did you all sense that a big moment, a signature type of win was coming, and how have you guys gotten to this point?
Well, the two individuals that you just mentioned, Kelly and Madison, put in the work. We expected big things out of those two individuals as individual stars on the football fields for us. But it all starts up front. Our offensive line, we knew were capable of being pretty impressive this year, and they just tend to wear on you. And, when we give those two kids a seam, they're able to, hit that seam and go for a long way. So we're very appreciative, but the hard work that's come up front is where it's starting at. And those guys are just excelling and doing what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, no, coming into the game just this past week, Coach, Madison was leading the Northern Neck in rushing with 176 yards per game, 15 touchdowns. Kelly, that dual threat for you with 504 yards rushing, 441 passing to go with 14 total touchdowns, 8 on the ground, 6 passing. Those offensive linemen, let's shout those we call them sometimes affectionately the big uglies up front, what they have done for you. And I know a lot of the cases for Class 2 and Class 1 schools, a lot of those linemen have to go both ways, do they not?
Well, I tell you what, we've been very blessed this year and fortunate. We have not had our offensive line to go both ways this year, and that's been a very important piece to our puzzle so far. Neither of our offensive linemen play on the defense, so those 5 guys remain fresh throughout. We did have one to play a few snaps for us on Friday night, but other than that, they stay fresh and they do what they do, and that's where we're at right now.
Outstanding. Who are some of those linemen we should know about? Give us, if you can shout them out, being on the offensive side or the defensive side, because I want to flip over to your defense in a few minutes, because your defense to hold Essex down to 8 points when they were averaging almost 60 a game, pretty impressive job too.
Absolutely. Well, up front for us on the offensive line, I'll go right across the board. We have our left tackle, senior, Billy Houchin, 3-year starter for us, very phenomenal kid, 6'5", 305 pounds. On the opposite side of him, we have John Seal, senior offensive tackle, 4-year starter for the program at 6'4", 240 pounds. And we have our right guard. We have Mr. Hauk over there. That was our center for the last couple of years. Our center this year is Lincoln Walston, and our left guard is Brandon Bracey. So that group has worked together hard and done some things to just make the program go forward. So we're very excited about them. On the defensive side of the ball there for our defensive line, Carter Sullivan and Kenneth Madison holds down our edges, and we got some guys playing on the inside that are giving us some solid minutes now. Big surprise for us, Samuel Kelly on the inside, Zion Graham and Tyreek Harris. All those guys have been performing very well for us night in and night out.
When you play a team like Essex and you know what they're going to do, it's just a well-oiled machine. I almost compare a little bit to Riverheads. As you know, they had a stranglehold on Class 1 for a lot of years before going into Class 2. I'm sure that the simple keys, let's be disciplined with our blocks, fundamentally sound, don't miss tackles. But what extra things did you have to do, the little things, to prevail? Because you probably battled them close before, but to get over that hump and win this game, what was the difference this time in your eyes?
I'll be honest with you. The game plan coming in was just to play simple football, to win, the one-on-one battles. But the difference with the game on the other night is our kids went in believing. A lot of times, when you've lost a bunch of games, sometimes the kids don't believe as much as you do because they hear everything that goes on in the hallways and everything that comes from other people. But this group of young men believe in what we're doing. They bought in. They're sold into what we're trying to accomplish, and they have a purpose. They have a plan, and we're going forward with it.
I mentioned to you, Coach, first 6-0 start since 1992. I mean, when you have this type of a start and you have the tandem, the offensive line, the defense is flying around, which was the thing that really impressed me. I felt like your offense could make some plays in this game potentially. And Essex has got a really stout defense. But when you get this type of win, certainly championship becomes the conversation. It goes from thinking it to now, like you said, believing it and knowing that this can be done. Where do you go after a win like this? Because I know it's not the end for you all. You expect to do even more from here.
Absolutely. Our aspirations, our goals have been set high from the beginning, and this group has bought into that. They believe in each other. They push each other. They challenge each other day in and day out, and we're excited about them. And I can't talk about my defense without talking about my two inside linebackers there, with Chase Self and Kevin Fauntleroy. Those two guys have been holding it down for us for a couple of years. They're both juniors, and they're playing real solid football for us right now. So I'm excited about everything that's going on right now.
That's tremendous. In a few more minutes here with you and let you run. We appreciate you stopping on here with On the Hash with Hatfield. We give the Northern Next Schools, the Class 1 team that's a contender for a championship this year, Rappahannock, some love as William West has the Raiders rolling here at 6-0 in the season, fresh off that big win over Essex. Was there a game before this? This was the sixth game of the season for you. We've got the results scrolling across our ticker here. Was there maybe a game beforehand, whether it was maybe the win over Nandua or Westmoreland, another Northern Next School that you'll see again, Middlesex, Nelson County, that made you say, all right, this is one that's going to help us in the Essex battle coming up or in the playoffs down the road? Was there a game that you kind of felt like was a turning point for you?
Well, we felt confident and where we were heading from the beginning, but I will say the Nelson game on the road, going down playing a foe that we hadn't played. We scouted them well on film, of course, but our kids went out and had some things go against us from the beginning, had some adversity to overcome, and we bounced back and played lights out in the second half, and that showed the resilience of our team. And that's just excuse me, that's a bell in the background, but that's just the mentality of our group. And we felt after that game, it showed how solid our kids were. We go back to the Westmoreland game, the same thing. We gave them a possession at the beginning of the football game with a short field. They scored, and then we held them scoreless for the remainder of the game. So we're very pleased with where our kids are at right now.
Sure, I'll get you out in two more here before I know you have to go back to class here with the bell ringing there. Any chance for some next level opportunities for some of your guys, be it Kelly and Madison, some others? You got some seniors in this group that have the aspirations and in your eyes potential to play college football?
Well, I definitely think Kelly and Madison are next level type kids. They put in the work, they play hard, they're learning the game, and second to none in their work ethic. So we're very pleased. Madison puts it in the weight room. He does all of the little things to make his game better. And I definitely think those guys have aspirations, and they have the ability to play at the next level.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. And to get you out on this one, certainly I know you want to speak out to all the Northern Neck and Rappahannock fans out there that are enjoying what they're seeing from your squad. What can they expect the rest of the way? And what's the message to the team here as you guys try to pursue a region championship and, dare we say, a state championship for the first time in school history? We know you could see Essex again come Thanksgiving weekend. We know you still got to play in your district, Northumberland, end of the year, but this could be an exciting run for you guys here to November.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a very humble group of young men. So, of course, we want to stay humble and keep going forward and, taking one game, each week, one game at a time. And that's our goal right now.
Well, it's a great win for Rappahannock as they celebrated 13-8 over Essex, but they're not done. 6 games in the books. They hope to get 4 more victories, finish up their first unbeaten regular season, and get to the playoffs with a chance at a region championship and a state title. Coach William West, thank you so much for stopping by. All the best to you and your Raiders the rest of the way, and we'll talk down the road.
Appreciate it, Coach. Thank you for having us.
That's William West, our guest here with us on the Hash with Hatfield. We'll take a timeout and come back with more here. You're watching with us on Cova Sports TV. Hit that like button, that share button, and definitely that subscribe button for more as we talk to you about the world of high school football. We'll come back and put the finishing touches on this week's episode. Stay tuned.